Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. We're going to be checking out the grand final from Tekkz versus Fifilza? Plays for Wolves. Didn't even know Wolves had a player. That's actually pretty cool. And Tekkz signed for Fnatic. Didn't know that either.
Well, here we go.
Let's check out the game.
Gentlemen, you can see the two competitors on your screen. It is the Brazilian Fifilza taking on Fnatic, newly signed Tekkz in our grand finals here in Bucharest. And I just get the feeling, Dan, this might not be the first time we see these two matching up this year.
And what a
Carlos Alberto as a right back.
signing it has been for Fnatic as well. I'm sure when they put that pen to paper, they were delighted to get Tekkz on board, but there will always be that consideration of...
I'm guessing most people use the 4-2-3-1.
Can he show that same form we've seen in previous FIFAs?
Zambrota,
well, he's still aggressive, he's still
Zebu.
getting in the face of his opponents, he's still scoring goals, and he's in yet another cross-console final.
And he's already won the ball high up the pitch as well, which for Fifilza is going to be something he's going to have to keep his eye on, because the way that I see Fifilza approaching FIFA 20 is fairly similar to what we saw from Lyrics. And I think if Tekkz can apply the same kind of pressure that he did in the game against Lyrics...
That looks like a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-4-2.
We did see Fifilza in the previous game show he can score goals in those early stages of the game. He surprised Yago.
Yeah, that doesn't
He
look
came
like a
out of the blocks
4-2-3-1.
very hot and got
From
two goals
Tekkz.
concession, and then it was just a real struggle for Yago for the rest of that series. Yes, okay, he pulled it back, but Fifilza showed how
interesting.
strong he was.
So he has man mark for Hullet here. That's kind of cool because, like, over here, his midfielder kind of transitions in the defense.
The blocks very hot and got
Like this, watch.
two goals in quick succession,
So watch Hullet right here.
and then it was just a real
he tracks that player.
for Yago for the rest.
But then, like that, it creates this gap in the middle, right? But then he can switch to Hullet to go back into the midfield.
But Fifilza showed how strong he was.
Well, here's Rudy Hullet then turning and twisting in a driven ball into R9. Virgil van Dijk comes out to try and deal with the strength of R9, and it was a little bit messy, it was a little bit awkward, but it was effective there from Tekkz defensively. That's Garincha again on that right-hand side. He's been a real influence for Tekkz.
He really has. I mean, I'm sure that his market price probably...
It doesn't look like a
rises as soon as
4-2-3-1.
everyone saw that
It
Tekkz was
might
using him
be.
on an esports account where you can use any...
It looks like they're using 4-4-2.
Really has done a job for him.
Well, here's another Brazilian who has been in pretty much every single squad we've seen so far. It was R9 Ronaldo, but this man has been finding the back of the net.
This is an angle in FIFA. It's like when you kind of like aim away from goal at a 45-degree angle. This one.
We've seen so far. It was R9 Ronaldo, but this man...
Right, getting that angle, you can see how straight he shoots it. Because when the player is like a good player like a Zebu, his shots are really good.
Has been finding the back of the net more often than not himself, and of course, Mangia Sabio, but this time the shot was blocked, but opportunities at both ends to start this one off, Dan.
Fifilza has to be really careful in that final third area if he allows Tekkz to get that space in the box, because we've seen how effectively he can turn, how quickly he can swivel and get that shot away, whether it be...
I like the way Tekkz defends. He's like an aggressive defender.
Right foot or left foot, because he's got the 5-star weak foot of R9, of Eusebio, just there waiting to pounce. And he's got Neymar there as well, just on the wing to join the fray.
Well, here's Zambrota then in that fullback position. Little ball inside here to R9 Ronaldo. Mbappe dropping off, being called towards the ball there by Fifilza. And then he's in Tekkz again. Look where Hullet is on the...
So he builds up the play slowly, but you can see that his Wolves' tactics is set to an aggressive attack. So he pushes the back line farther back, creating more space in the middle, which is interesting.
Pitch pushing high up, trying to win that ball, but
See,
now
there's so much in the middle now.
Space in behind. R9 with a strike, and Allison has to get a strong hand.
Allison is the goalie. Wow.
I like that from Fifilza as well. Just test the goalkeeper early. Test Tekkz a little bit early as well. You get yourself a corner, put a little bit of pressure. Say, look, I'm not afraid to shoot. You're going to give me that space. I'm going to take these shots.
Chance here maybe for Hullet. Van Dijk.
Ooh, he almost got that layoff pass right there.
How much? Not just in real life football in that
Vidal
Liverpool
trigger
shirt,
shield.
Virgil van Dijk, but on this game he said he's the best centre back on the game, and you can see he can rely on him once again.
Impressive records for both of these in terms of the fact they haven't lost a game. You also have to
Yeah, he's using a 4-4-2.
They've scored and the amount of goals they've conceded as well. It's only been 8 goals conceded for Fifilza in this entire tournament.
Great little touch past him from Ruud Hullet there.
CDMs are all in position. So it looks like a 4-4-2.
Sometimes it's the unexpected, just a little bit of left stick dribbling there from Tekkz, which created the space. Here's R9, drag back. Maybe might open up for a finesse shot of his own, but instead goes back to Patrick Vieira. Here's Ronaldo. Eusebio Exchanging quick passes.
If Tekkz scores with these attacking tactics, it's very impressive. They're not off the ball. They're not doing anything impressive. I think Tekkz is really good at reacting.
Actually conceded throughout this tournament. Tekkz really struggling to get into that.
I think he's really good at reacting when the moment comes. You know, like the opening.
Anything that we can see from Fnatic's.
Most likely going to do a layoff pass. Yeah.
Taking short there, little flick up actually. Maybe just keeping Fifilza guessing if he was going to fancy a little volley on that one, test the goalkeeper out, but instead he's played a beautiful weighted pass out wide there.
See, there's his attacking tactics. There's nothing special. It's just finding that one little gap.
The heel to heel, the double.
Here, this is like a nice little FIFA mechanic, right? Dribble, dribble. Right here, dribble, dribble. He does that to make him think he's going to make this pass to the bottom, right?
Pass out wide there. Into R9.
Right? See that little transitioning run that he makes in the middle right here? So it's like dribble, dribble. Makes him kind of stop, and then he has to transition back upwards.
The heel to heel, the double.
He's good at attacking, man. He uses the small, intricate dribbling to open up the space. See?
Trouble here for Fifilza, back into R9. Double. To cause some trouble here for Fifilza.
So that's a great pass.
Back into R9.
Ezebu makes a great off-the-ball movement here.
To cause some trouble here for Fifilza.
Off the ball movement goes down. First time shot. It's a good goal.
Takes the lead. And he takes the lead in the same fashion we've seen time and time again this tournament play. Lead here. And if that's anything to go by, then we're in for an incredible grand final.
What a start this is from Fnatic Tekkz. Everything.
See, his attacking tactics are not aggressive. Wolves has more of an aggressive tactic on the attack, but Tekkz works those little small angles to open up the space, right? Nothing special happens with his team, but Wolves he usually has like those 4 players committing forward, you know.
That's 1 per series because he's played 9 series.
Which is a great tactic because it pushes their back line back, right?
Both of these players can keep such a low score.
Tekkz waits for that off-the-ball movement with players, but that initial pass to Ronaldo was really good.
Let's put that into perspective as well. When we say series, that's 2 games of FIFA, so that's less than a goal a game, which is an absolutely phenomenal record. But he's going to have to keep his wits about him.
His attacking tactics are aggressive, right?
Fires the ball into Ruud Gullit. He gets the finesse shot a little bit wrong there, and it will just disappear behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and I think Tekkz will be happy with shots like that coming out from Fifilza. Whilst I was encouraging the shot a little bit earlier from Fifilza, I think that maybe that was a little bit rushed with Gullit. Yeah, okay, the space was available, but I don't think necessarily finesse was the right option. Maybe he just could have tried to drive.
I think Wolves is running a 4-2-3-1 right now.
Or even just go for that extra pass.
Seems like he's playing a narrow width. Gullit and Vera are very close to each other. Could be off the ball movement as well.
Tournament in comparison to 28 for Fifilza.
Opens up in the middle.
Goals across those 9 games. It's an average of 3.77 per series for Tekkz as well. So even though, yes, okay, he's been strong at the back, he has been bagging them as well.
That's good dribbling there. This is very like simple stuff here, but this is like the only thing he can do here is ball roll downwards and then go back to his fullback, because if he makes his pass upwards, they could aggressively intercept it. But he does well here to just do calm dribbling
as well.
Just calm dribbling, right? These little micro movements right here is what opens up the space, right? Right there. See how his Messi goes backwards? He creates that space. Does the fake shot in a direction. He doesn't do just a regular fake shot. So he holds L1 or LB, fake shot downwards, and he does the shielding. So that's really smart to do. Doing a fake shot downwards and then going right into the shield opens up the space for you, because if the person goes down, your player kind of like turns his body like this to go in another direction, right? And that's what happens. He gets a little space right here. Scoop turn for a nice little momentum shift. Okay, now he has space here. This is smart. Dribbling back is really smart there. People aggressively push that, but there's no over here. There's no like off the ball movement, right, that he can utilize. He makes his pass. There's nothing. You see how they're both like kind of standing still? When they're doing that, you don't have anything to work with. You have to work with what they're running off of.
Eusebio, though, just a little bit sloppy in possession there, and with around 50 seconds left in game, this first half maybe a chance for Fifilza to go forward, but Tekkz defends well.
Yeah, he just steps up so successful with
his
fullbacks. to get a couple of Tekkz has looked pretty scary. He's been able to play that ball into R9, but instead of just looking
Analog
for the turn
sprint
straight
on.
away, he's actually been retreating, running back to the likes of Neymar. A goal, found his first goal.
Let's see what they're rocking here. Yeah, so 4-2-3-1 for Tekkz.
And he is a goal.
Okay, so he plays higher depth, so again, aggressive defending, very noticeable. I like that he matches his tactics to his playstyle.
Closer to lifting another trophy in Bucharest.
Stick to position.
It would be his 5th.
Drift wide, okay. Drift wide. These guys, man, they're so smart at this game, right? Like it's good that they're analyzing their game as they're playing it, right? You see how he's dribbling backwards. Normally, when people are like dribbling backwards like that, they're kind of like analyzing the way that their players are moving, right? So you can see that his Ezebu was very stagnant. He wasn't really doing anything, right? So maybe telling him to drift wide, attacking AI wise, will tell them to actually move, right?
Foot champions.
Free roam, there you go. Free roam will tell him to be more free. Like around the pitch, right? Because he was very stagnant in those positions.
Barcelona, Bucharest, Singapore, Atlanta.
Van Dijk, Maldini, Zambrotta. That's a good team.
Of course, that stretches across FIFA 18 and 19. It'll be the 3rd time he lifts a trophy and the first major of a FIFA title. The consistency that Tekkz has shown is...
So far, this doesn't look bad to watch competitively.
It's unparalleled.
Like, it actually seems like a pretty decent game.
But for Fifilza, still a lot of time left in this game, of course. Not just the one game of FIFA to decide who will be our cross-console champion. Of course, we play 2 legs here. The scores are tied on aggregate after.
See, Ezebu's moving around now. He's not stagnant anymore. Look at him.
The scores are tied on aggregate after those 2 legs. We go to extra time and penalties. But for Tekkz, he has the game and the pace of the game in his hands now. He can afford to take his time a little bit more, but to create some clear-cut chances. Force Fifilza to work to get that ball back as Eusebio now turns. And you can already see here, Dan, Fifilza committing a few more players up the pitch. I like that for the Brazilian. He's not going to let Tekkz have an easy ride.
I don't think Tekkz ever expects an easy ride, though, even though he is still very young, very experienced in the FIFA scene, holds himself very well. Has slowly matured both in his playstyle and his age. And I think he knows...
The way Tekkz's defense closes down when he aggressively defends is really good.
To burst into life at any point, so he has to
This is where the opening... That's beautiful. That Wolves does a great job here. That's really smart. So this right here, he utilizes the R1 RB dribble. So it's like when you receive... It's like when you receive a first time touch, and this allows you to like open up the space for yourself really nicely too, right? So it kind of puts this little momentum on the ball as well, right? So you can see
into life at any point, so he
right
has
there.
To keep...
So it makes his movement, it makes his player move to the left, and then he opens up to the right, and then it has this little gap right here in the middle. Very smart to do that.
Well, here's Ruud Gullit then into the field of R9. You can see the idea. Again, from
really smart. I like that he did that.
Turn that little burst of acceleration away from Virgil van Dijk. Carlos Alberto comes across with a crunching tackle there to win the ball back, and now Fifilza might be able to counter-attack, but given away again. As Eusebio's the man to pick up possession.
And if you are unfamiliar with how FIFA esports works in the grand final, there is a leg on the PlayStation and then a
that's
leg
the
on
composure
the Xbox
thing with the dribbling.
On the PlayStation.
Not a great mechanic.
So Tekkz arguably on his unfamiliar console, but as we spoke about on the couch, he's been
See, aggressive defending. He always pushes up. See, he pushes up instantly. Because he knows his players will track those players afterwards.
The amount of times we've seen him dominate a PlayStation leg.
I like his playstyle, man. Good defending with Patrick Vieira. Once he does that skill move, that composure thing takes into effect.
Final that we've seen Fifilza competing in, so this is new
Good
territory
pass.
For the Brazilian.
He's going to transition back, yeah.
Cruyff looks to deep into Texas territory at the moment and find an opening.
Good utilization of the strafe dribble right there. That should have gone to Hullet. That's unlucky.
For Tekkz, his timing on those tackles really is impeccable.
And it's so often those fullbacks as well. Really gets them involved in the mix.
Yeah, aggressively pushes up the center back, creates a space.
With a little snapshot.
This is great. Like this, you know, the shot's inconsistent now. Like this game I'm watching right now, there's nothing like terrible that's happening, which is good.
Aaron Mbappe with as well. really gets them involved in the mixer.
Lovely ball for there. And
That's not a bad shot to try. Like, it's a transitioning run. The player is approaching the ball. He's not, like, facing the other way. And the shot was bad. That's okay.
Mbappe with a little snapshot.
This looks like a good game.
All he needs is one.
Last year it made me numb to watch the games because it was just stupidity everywhere. But this just looks like a good game of FIFA. Tactics are definitely gonna like separate people for sure.
And throughout FIFA 20 in general. So it is worth a pop.
It's decision making.
Tekkz is going to restrict him to only those chances. Then I'm sure he's going to take them.
Aggressive defending, but see, that's the thing that I'm talking about, right? You see how he aggressively defends,
him to only those chances.
but then he switches to Hullet, and look at his center back going back into position.
Then I'm sure he's going to take him.
And then again, aggressive defending it here again.
Here for Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at the
With Virgil van Dijk, really good.
front of there. Rude Hullet moving on from a deeper midfield position there to join the attack. Just couldn't find those final couple of passes to kind of weave the tapestry together to create that chance.
Their gameplay looks playable at least, which is good.
Promising signs for him going forward.
Looks playable.
Every time Tekkz is on the ball, it's almost
can
like
take
I'm
small,
watching a
intricate
ballet,
touches
like
and stuff,
Swan
you know.
Lake is about to perform in front of us. It's the
I don't think it's like
2-3 turns
the best,
every
but
single
it's
time just to
definitely
analyse
playable, I
where the
think.
defenders are going to be approaching him from. Keeping that ball close to the feet, utilising the dribbling skills of these incredible icons and items that he's able to use here on these esports accounts.
Yep.
Well, here is
Impose
Garincha,
attacks,
the man
slows
who
it down. He does that because he's trying to analyze. That's perfect. That's just
and this
beautiful.
tournament.
I love that he does. Tekkz always does this because it puts you in position, but the momentum that it puts on the ball is brilliant. Look
Man
at this.
who has kind of become synonymous with
Ball roll into a nice little, I think it's elastico.
this
Nice.
tournament. Can't get away from Ronaldo, who's doing a little bit of defensive work himself, but will win the throw-in here on the near side. Eusebio picks up the pieces from the throw-in, gets
That's
it back
beautiful.
to Garincha. Brazilian inside the box, finds another Brazilian.
Was he
Gets it
onside?
back to Garincha.
Yeah, I thought the fullback was going to play Ronaldo on.
Brazilian inside the box, finds another Brazilian.
You know what's funny about these opportunities is that I feel like if you chip them when you're that close to the goalkeeper, it actually works better. I don't know, maybe.
But he was just offside. He looked like he was just ahead of that defensive line.
I feel like the goalie would animate himself a certain way.
To Fifilza.
There are positives Fifilza can take from this game, though. He has got into a couple of nervy areas that has made Tekkz's defence look wobbly at times. Sure, he hasn't committed to that extra pass to see if he can try and get that ball through for the one-on-ones, but those shots are enough just to worry your opponent when it's only 1-0.
Yeah, he utilizes the R1 RB dribble. You just hold it and you go in the direction you want to go towards.
Fifilza plays on.
Nice attack. Nice attack. Angle, shoots, yeah. You see how they don't face the net and they don't have it in this angle like this. They have it at this angle. This is the angle that they shoot more straight with the players that have good shooting.
Goal and forces the save from Alisson.
Again, though, I think Tekkz is going to be happy with those kind of shots. It was far enough away where he's going to be comfortable that the keeper's going to make the save. But it's enough just to apply the pressure for Fifilza. Give him that confidence. I am going to create chances against Tekkz.
Couldn't find anything there from the corner either. Took it short, tried to recycle possession. And now he's having to wait here for Fifilza, be patient so that he doesn't give that ball away in a dangerous area. And this might be one of the last chances he has to go forward. About 8 minutes left of regulation time. Mbappe.
This is the off-the-ball movement you look for when you play FIFA.
He has to go
So you see this position right here.
Go forward about 8 minutes.
See how he starts making that run? That's what players look for when they're playing the game. So you see when Tekkz is aggressively defending, he wants to aggressively watch this side, but he knows he can't do that because of that guy making that run, right? So he switches off instantly.
Mbappe interchanging passes here to R9.
Good fake shot into the space.
Inside. This is looking dangerous. Lovely little dummy there.
Tap,
Cristiano
shoot.
Ronaldo. Fifilza, what a save! Boy,
Yeah, see, this for me should be a goal.
little dummy there. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, a finesse shot should be okay.
Fifilza, what a save! Lovely little dummy there. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, because he goes near post here. Look.
This is looking dangerous. Lovely little dummy there. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Near post. Because he goes near post, the shooting. That's why it's such a weird thing, because near post shots are one of the most consistent ways to score. But EA still don't understand that in this situation, you should be able to finesse this across. Because there's that variable of like, okay, there's a skill element where it's like, okay, you have your manual goalkeeping in the game. If his Alisson goes near post, because this isn't like user error, because you guys play this game, I play this game. It's not always accurate to the side. Sometimes it'll miss, or sometimes it'll hit more to the middle. We play this game, we know what it's like, right? If this was like a thing where it's his fault, where it's like, okay, he's only aiming in the middle, sure, but he should be hitting the sides here. You know what I'm saying? Especially because of the manual goalkeeping part too. Even if it went to the middle, it should have gone in. Because the only angle that Tekkz should have had there to save it should have been the left side. Because that's the side you're predicting to save. You're not predicting the middle side, and you're not predicting the right side. And I think that Fifilza gets really unlucky here for sure. It was good build-up play. Like, that's what, like, when he was attacking here, I was like, dude, make that extra pass right there. Look at this off-the-ball movement right here, right? Starts to stretch out wide. His player starts to transition in the middle there. That's just a weird FIFA thing. He should be blocking that side. There's no reason for him to come here, but it is what it is. This is like those small variables that kind of like affect a person winning and losing. But anyways, he touches this ball. The right touch, right? And that's across. Or middle.
And Van Dijk doing some work in the back as well.
Tekkz does the right thing there to block the near post, because the near post finish is the most effective. That's very unlucky. Really good attacking play.
But what a chance it was for Fifilza.
He's lowering his depth now. Less aggressive defending. Now he's going to come back on defense, so he's choosing a more defensive approach.
Finesse to the right of him. I've seen it sometimes, just driving it to the left.
He's on balance now. Come back on defense.
Near post. But maybe it was just enough of subtle goalkeeper movement
Mbappe for
Tekkz just to
Gardincha.
make Fifilza second guess himself.
Cruyff. Good substitutions.
We have seen some absolutely huge saves.
When you have these players at your disposal, that are good substitutions. You should make the substitutions. 100%.
In between the sticks, we've seen a lot of different characters.
Very smart.
Who have been placed in goal for different players throughout the tournament, but
see, that's a variable skill-wise that I feel like he should have scored, which is very unfortunate.
Advantage intact.
Very risky dink from the free kick by Tekkz.
Carlos Alberto looks like a very good right back.
I'm sure he would be more than happy to go into his familiar console, the Xbox leg, with a 1-goal advantage. I'm sure that Fifilza would have liked to.
It's a really good game, though. Like I said, there's nothing
going into that
completely overpowered, right? Obviously, defensive AI sometimes making blocks, but at the same time, like, it's not like too noticeable where it's like, wow, this is really annoying to watch. Like, this just looks like a decent game of FIFA. You don't see like stupid things happening 24/7, right? Like, they're actually trying to break down people by playing football. No crosses. Crosses are RNG, right? Composed. This is how you have to attack in FIFA. Nice and slow, right? You can't really aggressively push it. 6 wing fries. Thanks so much for the sub, man.
30 seconds left in game. Vieira. Little cheeky ball into Johan Cruyff.
Really smart.
This is where he's so dangerous. A couple
that,
of
see, that's the combo Tekkz likes to use. See, it's this one right here. So he goes, he does the ball roll into Elastico.
This is where he's so dangerous. A couple of steps.
Or step overs into Elastico. Elastico, the first one, still has a lot of momentum on the ball, which is why he utilizes it, right? Because it's very, very fast to open up the space. Because right here, if he gets that angle, if he gets that angle, right, he has more to work with, because his striker, because it's a good player, like that has good off the ball stats and stuff, he's going to transition back on the edge of this box right here. His player will go on to the right side, and then he'll be able to make a pass, instant shot, right? Watch.
Dangerous, a couple of step on.
They might do that like auto interception thing where they kind of kick the ball out. But
a little Elastico back inside, not enough to beat the defender. But he does have
should
the
cross this ball. Ooh, that works too.
Look at the man waiting on the
cross
edge of the box.
instantly.
Falls back here to Mbappe. Little turn inside. Virgil van Dijk.
His player took a huge emphasis there. That sucks.
Back here to Mbappe.
Great utilization, dude. He does the McGeady spin into pass instantly, right? So when he finishes, he's probably spamming that button, like a nice little double tap or whatever it is.
Have the corner. Pull it. Look at the man.
His player should get that.
Not enough to beat the defender. But he does have the corner. Pull it.
Emphasis, that should be easily blocked.
Look at the man
Does that.
waiting on the edge of the box, falls back here to Mbappe.
McGeady spin into pass instantly.
Little turn
Oh, it's Virgil. Okay, never mind.
inside. Virgil van Dijk can't force it through. Second chance.
First time
will be
shot.
the last chance. As Fifilza puts it out of play.
That's a good first game so far.
Goal advantage.
Unlucky with the finish though.
Clear-cut opportunity.
Should definitely have scored that.
Goes out, maybe play a. If you could just pass that ball across the pitch to like we saw before with Mbappe, but hopefully the next time he gets that opportunity.
This is nice to watch, actually.
So here it is,
Honestly,
the final
I
90
used to be super opposed to watching
FUT
competitive
champions.
FIFA, but
Cup stage one live here from
they're actually
Bucharest
trying to play football
is
now, which
underway.
is really
Tekkz,
good.
as you can see,
Like
with that one
it's nice.
goal advantage on aggregate. If Wolves' Fifilza manages to
My
find
brain
the
used to
goal,
get
he
numb
keeps
last year.
Tekkz at bay.
I used to like I used to have recordings where I'd be like, okay guys, I can't watch this anymore.
And either way,
But
it's
this is okay.
an incredible moment for either of these players. Either it's going to be Tekkz making it 3 seasons in a row.
How does he
picking up the
have
first
this defensive setup with the new patch?
moment for either of these players? Either
See, people find ways, right? So look, drags this guy back. He still has his 4.
it's going to be Tekkz making it 3 seasons in
5.
a row, picking up the first major, or it could be Fifilza being the
I'm
first
so curious to see what his
PlayStation
tactics
FUT
are.
Champions Cup winner in quite
See, man,
some
this is
time. We didn't
this
see
is why
one.
Tekkz, this kid, man, he's so good at this game, right? Because like his tactics are not like how would I say it? It's not like looking to utilize a mechanic that's not necessarily a fun one. Like his tactics are very like open. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll come at me and I will come at you. You know?
One of them throughout FIFA 19.
The ball that is into Ronaldo.
That's really smart. So he does a no touch dribble, right? So what he does here is
one of them throughout FIFA.
That's really smart utilization of the ball roll. Ball roll upwards.
Champions Cup winner in quite some time. We didn't see one of them
Ball roll upwards, make you think that you're going to go up. Nice little, small, little intricate touch.
throughout.
Open that space in the middle. Imagine if his player right here, because this guy uses him, right?
FIFA 19.
Imagine if he could just do a first-time pass into that little area right there, you know?
The ball that is into Ronaldo.
But he does that because he wants to work that near post angle,
Get
right?
that shot away for Fifilza.
So a nice little left stick touch, or it doesn't use the left stick here.
Throughout FIFA 19.
No left stick, just maybe shielding, and then from that touch, instantly goes into the touch, right? That's why you can see their gameplay is playable, because when the gameplay is quote-unquote bad, you can't really touch and go instantly, right? So his Ronaldo, it doesn't matter the quality of the players. Like you could see that his players doing it.
In quite some time, we didn't see one of them.
Ball roll,
throughout
touch,
FIFA
pass,
19.
touch,
Ball that
down.
is into Ronaldo. Try.
And small little intricate touches too,
Sometime we
right?
didn't
So
see
touch,
one of
touch,
them
watch.
Throughout FIFA 19.
Touch,
Ball
touch,
that is
touch.
into Ronaldo, trying to
Doom,
get
doom,
that shot away
right?
for Fifilza. Timing the tackle superbly there with Virgil van Dijk, but early warning signs there for the Brazilian.
Very hard though. When R9 has his back to you, and he's just shielding the ball so strong to try and win it back off.
Look at
You
Texas
know,
tactics. It's like open
It's
FIFA.
just a scoop turn away.
It's nice to watch.
A dummy away. Maybe just a pass, a 1-2 away from being a goal. Have to be so focused, so concentrated whilst defending.
This is a nice move here on this left-hand side from Fifilza. Managed to get aggressive.
Tries to
there
use
and
the acceleration from the fake shot
This is
here.
a nice move here on this left-hand
So the first
side
one
from
still
Fifilza.
works, see?
Managed to get aggressive
But obviously Tekkz is defending
there
well,
and tries
so
that little accelerated fake shot around the fullback, but we've seen both fullbacks, either Carlos Alberto or Zambrotta, have been absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, and the fake shot would have worked in FIFA 19, but doesn't really.
So yeah, Tekkz likes to utilize the fake shot in a direction, right? So what he does is, I'm trying to see if I can get into like a skill game or something to show you guys. So what he does, right, is he kind of like does this, right? So he's running, but then he'll do a fake shot in a direction, right? So he'll do it like, I think it's I forgot exactly how to do it. I think you have to hold RB. Yes. So he utilizes that a lot. I'll show you guys how to do it with the controller if it works. Okay, so what he does, right, is so in a position like this.
Look as well.
Been absolutely rock solid.
Yeah, and the fake shot would have worked.
He's not doing a regular fake shot, because if you do a regular fake shot, right? If you do a regular fake shot, it'll always aim in the position of the net, of the opposition's net. So if I'm running this way, but I just do one fake shot, he always faces the net. So what Tekkz does, right, is when he's running on the sidelines, it's a very smart tactic to do actually. When he's running on the sidelines, he does this, right? So you could see that he lets go of our trigger, right? He's running, he's running, he's running. And then RB fake shot downwards. When you do that, it's smart because you put your body in front of the ball quickly. Because if you do this and you just dribble, he's not putting this like defensive presence on the ball, right? But when you do the fake shot in a direction like this, he's already kind of positioned his whole body to be in front of the ball. So it's just a very smart tactic to use, right? Because you can see in this situation right here,
have been absolutely rock solid.
Fake shot downwards, body's in front of the ball, opens up the space for him, right?
As well in FIFA 20, unless you're directly side by side with the defender, that's when that acceleration can really just take the ball away from them, and then you can get that advantage. But maybe just a poor prediction from Fifilza, expecting him to be a little bit closer, perhaps.
And you can see Fifilza here, the way that he's defending. I think he's trying to presume that Tekkz is going to
so smart, so smart, so smart, so smart, so smart. This is like the cracked out of your mind stuff that I talk about all the time when it comes to gameplay. This is brilliant. This is so good, dude.
He's defending. I think he's trying to presume.
Right? He takes that touch, and you see he likes to utilize the elastical, because the elastical with these guys, it's so fast, right? Watch this.
And you can see Fifilza here, the way that he's
so smart, dude.
Defending.
Look.
I think he's trying to
touch, instant elastico.
Presume.
Gets into the position. Now his body is in front of the other person. But not only that, he wants to aim for that near post, right?
That Tekkz is going to not
fake shot to the near post angle, shoots it instantly. Brilliant goal. No complaints about that whatsoever.
Oh! But a goal
that's gorgeous, man.
Tekkz doubles his lead. And that man R9 is just deadly.
Fifilza just gave him a little bit too much space.
That is gorgeous.
Tekkz the time to think. And he was able to get away from the man. Blanc just left in the dust. And R9 smashes it home.
This kid is talented, man. I'm telling you.
Chances.
Wow. Elastico into position, get his body in front of the person, fake shot into the near post angle, shoot instantly.
Just perfect tournament as well. We have to keep that in consideration as the young man once again wins possession back for the
2-1 would definitely be a fair result right now. I think Tekkz is definitely playing better, and I think his tactics kind of makes it even better, you know, to watch.
The impressive goal-scoring record.
This is making me excited because I like when you could see that skill gap, right?
36 from 9 games, not bad at all, especially when you consider the current meta of FIFA 20 and how defensive it's been in some of these games.
It really has been an exhibition. From someone that I named a special one last year, he's showing that has carried over here into FIFA 20, but for Fifilza,
that's just so impressive, man.
Now the game has completely changed. The situation was new to him before he got into this game.
Aggressive defending, man.
Final before.
He may have switched to the 4-4-2 at this point, potentially.
And not just by 2, but also on an Xbox now.
No, they still look like they're 4-2-3-1.
I'm not particularly sure he has that much experience with, and I know it's just a controller, and I know most players are prepared for it, and they usually have some sort of controller that's modified that makes it feel like their familiar console. Would Fifilza have been expecting to be in a cross-console final? Would he have packed said controller?
Is Zambrata right-footed? Interesting.
Well,
he probably has a 4-star weak foot at least, right?
He has history in his own hands at the moment. Just needs to not make mistakes. And that's something that we definitely can confirm that Tekkz has not done so far here in Bucharest.
Yeah, Tekkz is playing this smart, slow possession play. Fifilza's still using that defensive tactic.
Fifilza would be completely deflated. Here's R9.
Oh, that's just, dude. He works those angles, man.
Fifilza would be completely
touch, instant drag back, but he does the drag. This is, I wish we always had responsive gameplay online, because this is the skill gap right here. Look, he does the drag back and then into position to do the near post shot. You see how he never goes far post here? He always goes near post. Look.
Deflated. Here's R9. Beautiful from Tekkz. He is special.
I don't necessarily like the drag back skill move because it's not necessarily realistic, and it's very, very effective to use to attack. They even try to nerf it, but it's still very effective. But obviously, it's still really good play, right? He does the small little intricate touch here.
And you have to
working the angle, first time pass, touch, instant drag back.
Beautiful from Tekkz. special.
It's nice when you can see the skill gap, you know? It's fun to watch.
It's so simple, but so effective. The drag back is deadly in and around the box.
It's fun to watch, man.
Filthy.
He even uses a little bit of the goalkeeping, a little bit. And the manual goalkeeping, a tiny bit to go to the far post, but he always goes for that near post.
Tekkz again showing in so many different
Class
areas
goals,
of the
man.
pitch why he is such a talented human being. It doesn't matter what console it is. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. Tekkz always finds a way to win. And not only that, Dan, a way to entertain as well.
It doesn't even matter what FIFA it is. 18, 19, 20, he's doing it again. The consistency.
It's good to see, man, because a lot of people thought that this kid was only good because he can abuse certain mechanics of the game, but he's just very good at adapting to whatever FIFA he's playing. But this one, it looks like he's just very good at.
He didn't have a great
I think playing at the... they probably like playing at the events more than they like playing at home, to be honest. Because I heard that Tekkz actually doesn't play that much at home.
Best seasons of all time. It came down to nothing because he wasn't even
Because of the
able
whole
to get out of the
gameplay
group
thing,
stages. But FIFA 20...
But you can definitely see that his game style is definitely being shown here. And the thing right now is that because Fifilza is losing, he's going to have to be more aggressive to get goals back. So now he's going to be more open, and that also means that Tekkz could score more goals here.
Keep an eye on that player cam as well. See what the body language is like. See if he's keeping his head up. If there's no shakes of the head. But you do feel here, Dan, that he needs a goal before half-time. If he wants any chance of getting back into this
definitely
game,
needs one
Tekkz
goal
is
at
just
least.
starting to flow.
Still using those defensive tactics. 4-4-2 probably.
Garincha.
His team really goes far back, man. So that's why it's smart for him to build up a little bit more slowly. He's probably disappointed in that pass right there.
An absolutely flawless tournament for him as well up to this point. Just sweeping aside everyone. But now 3 goals down. This is unfamiliar to the territory.
I remember doing a
already.
podcast with Kurt last year, and I was telling him, like, dude, the kid's just really good at adapting to FIFAs, man. Because there used to be such a huge thing that he just abused mechanics, but he just knows how to play. This one, there's no adapting. He's just, his actual skill is being shown. It's good, man. It's fun to watch.
He's developed so much since that young man we saw burst onto the scene in Barcelona, where he's matured as a FIFA player. He knows how to finish a game. He's got Enzo's tactics behind him as well. We saw how much he changed when Enzo started coaching him in FIFA 19.
Fries, thank you so much for the $20 donation, my dude.
Tekkz again looking dangerous right at the end of the first half of the second leg. Eusebio gets it back to R9, scoop turn and block. I mean, he was spinning like a top.
Love your work, great insight and analysis. For an average player like me, what's the best formation to stick to and try to improve as week passes? 4-2-3-1, 4-1-2-2, or bracket 2, or something else? Probably the 4-2-3-1, man. It's the most balanced formation to transition forward and come back. Thank you for the donation.
Didn't know if I was watching FIFA or Beyblade with the amount he was spinning there.
Beyblade.
But might not be enough time. It's not going to be half time then.
The other side of things.
See, now he has to aggressively attack. It's a second leg. He has to open up more. Even if that means conceding more, it's the only opportunity you have of winning. Some people, when you play online, what some people will do is they try to save face. So what they'll do is they'll still play defensive and try not to lose by more instead of trying to actually win the game. But it's an event. You have to, even if he, at this point, even if he loses 6-0, 7-0, the 6-0, 7-0 part doesn't matter. You have to try to attack now.
Tekkz, and they go a goal or 2 down, and then they go all out attack, and they end up losing by 5.
He has to open up more and try to, like, he has to team press whatever it is to attack. He can't.
How much does Fifilza have?
He can't play conservative anymore, you know.
I'm just gonna throw everything forward now, going all out attack. I don't care if I lose.
See what I think Tex's way of like countering someone's defensive style is to also attack still.
2 down. And then they go all out attack and they end up losing by 5 or 6. It happened to Maestro at Foot Champions Cup in London against Asari, I remember. How much
come back on
does
defense
Fifilza have? Does he?
He should have the 2 tactics set. He should have it set between the 2, you know what I'm saying? So he can just switch.
I'm just gonna throw.
But he probably wants to see it, you know?
Throw everything forward now.
Width is higher to avoid the sides.
Going all
okay.
Out attack. I don't care if I lose by 7, 8, 9. It doesn't matter to me. Or is he going to be thinking I want a respectable scoreline here?
Nobody remembers the scoreline. I think everybody just remembers the result of the game. And I think for Fifilza, he needs to have the confidence in himself to pull off something special here in Bucharest. Do it for your fans back home. Do it for Wolves Esports, who have given you that backing.
Do I think Fifilza is too passive considering the score? At this point, yes, but I feel like for competitive FIFA, it's all about risk and reward, right? Like his playstyle is to not risk, which is fine because a lot of people play like that. They play low risk, low reward that can still get to certain positions to score. That's why I keep saying that Tekkz's playstyle is so impressive, because he doesn't utilize an overpowered, or not overpowered, or a really effective defensive tactic in the game, but he still does really well because he just plays balanced FIFA. He plays high risk, right? He plays high risk, but he also plays low risk at the same time. Tekkz just utilizes the skills at the right time, right?
Tekkz likes to hassle. He likes to press. He doesn't allow his opponent ever to have an easy time. In the goals that Tekkz has scored, Fifilza's just given him that little bit too much space, maybe too much respect. Whereas Tekkz doesn't.
It's not respect. It's just you got to be so super conservative against Tekkz.
He wants to get in their faces.
The way you got to play against Tekkz is to be really possessive. Because if you're not possessive and you give the ball back, like you have to just work one angle against him, because he's aggressive defending, right? Easier said than done, because you can totally play that style, but he'll still read you like a book. He's just building up the play here. See? He's analyzing how he plays. So this is what he waits for, right? He does this little dribble here, and then watch his AI aggressively push him now. Watch.
Again, just waiting for players to.
You do that, now you open up the space for yourself. Scoop turn with acceleration into position. Ball roll, step over, acceleration.
Neymar with a ball roll and a step over, a fake Rabona. Can't quite fall for Fifilza enough to get the space to get the crossing.
Tekkz just saying, look, I've got a 3-0 lead, you've got to come to me.
Yeah.
More than happy for 10 of your men behind the ball, because 10 men are behind the ball.
He's still, see, this is where I think it's wrong. This right here is where I think it's wrong. He's playing to save face now more than he's playing to get a result out of the game.
He's mine. He can be patient.
See what I mean?
Has to press, has to bring some of these men back.
I think for me personally, I think people concern themselves too much with what others think. So he's concerned about like going to Twitter and going to Twitch or whatever it is that he's from, right? And he's concerned about someone telling him, dude, he destroyed you, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, chat, we're not in his position. You know what I'm saying? He's in his position. He's the one that got to the grand finals. So even if he loses 5-0, 6-0, he needs to aggressively attack here. And he shouldn't give a shit about what the general community thinks, because he got to the finals. He's better than anyone that tells him he's shit, or anyone that tells him that battered him, because he got there. So in my opinion, playing this style to save face is not the play. He should aggressively push at this point, you know? And you could tell that he is, because it looks like either a 4-4-1-1 or a 4-2-3-1 defensive tactic. But it's, you know, even if you concede more, you gotta attack
and start trying to win this ball back.
Well, Tekkz is playing this to the T, keeping possession. Not even.
I always used to tell people this all the time, right? I always feel like when you lose 4 or 5-0, a 4 or 5-0 result doesn't matter. The thing that mattered first was the first 2 goals, first 2 or 3 opportunities. That's for me, that I always think that when it comes to FIFA, because you guys know this, in FIFA you can lose a game 5-6-0 and then you can face that same person again and then beat them like 2-1 the next game, because you need to play that aggressive attack when you're losing by a lot, depending on the time frame, because you need to push those opportunities, right? You have to risk it more.
A sniff as Ronaldo now gets inside the box, drills it against the upright, and that would have been the game. And now a little bit of
see how they always work that near post angle.
Fifilza didn't clear his lines properly, but Tekkz again showing maybe something we wouldn't have seen a year or so ago. A little bit of maturity and valuing possession over another goal.
It's disappointing to watch this because the gameplay is so inconsistent when you play at home. It's like hard to watch this and then go home and then be like, okay, now I want to get better. But then like the gameplay is so inconsistent online that like if I play right now, it could be bad, right? Taking those small little intricate touches, you know, all that little stuff, it should make you, it's like a combination of 2 things. Like when you watch this, it should make you want to play the game and learn those mechanics. But some of the skill moves that Tekkz is executing here, like they won't even register when you play online. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to watch as a neutral person being at home watching the competitive, because it doesn't look like their gameplay is terrible. It's not great because you can see that their players are still behaving a certain way. But what this gameplay is playable, right? Like you can tell that when they take those small little intricate touches, do the skill moves into space, they can actually do those, right? So it's fun to watch when the gameplay is at the very least playable. And it definitely looks like it's playable here.
Yeah, just saying, oh, okay, I'll have the ball back. I will eat it a little bit more away at this time.
That's really smart. Near post there, yeah. So that's a transitioning run you look out for, right? So you could see he wastes time to wait for the run here.
Another goal here.
Yeah, just saying, oh, okay, I'll have the ball back.
Right, so he makes that pass. Neymar makes that run. You see? 4-2-3-1, left cam, right cam, transition on the inside. Watch.
I will eat it a little bit more away at this
Waste time. Goes for the near post. Then the player saves it, obviously.
Neymar as he shot blocked.
Time is ticking away for Fifilza.
Yeah, he's playing to save face. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe he doesn't believe that he can score the 2 or 3 goals, which is completely understandable as well, right?
I've seen goals scored
because scoring 2 or 3 goals competitive is maybe saving face would be the best solution, but I mean,
it's as simple as that. He has barely touched the ball.
I'd rather lose 5-0 trying to get goals back than to lose 3-0 and be conservative. Because you really shouldn't care about what people think, you know? Because people who don't understand how FIFA works are the ones that would be like, wow, you got destroyed 5-0. Again, I keep telling you guys, man, the 5-0 is not what matters. The thing that matters is the first 2 or 3 goals. When you get those goals, that's what matters. But every 4, 5, 6, people lose. They just lose hope. You know how many times you beat a person, and I feel like you guys can relate to this. You know how many times you beat a person online, and then you score your first 2 opportunities against them, but the game was really tight. You just got those opportunities, and then at the end of the game, you'll win like 5 or 6-0. But then you know yourself like, wow, this guy's actually a really good player. Like any other day I face him on the same, like even if the gameplay was good, right? Any other day that I face him, I could lose to this kid. I have that so many times. Like even when my gameplay is good, I'll beat someone like 4-0 and be like, guys, because then the chat will always be like, wow, you destroyed that guy. It's like, I didn't really destroy him. I scored the really small moments that mattered, and then the rest of the game kind of carried out a certain way. The thing about this matchup right here is I think that Tekkz was the better player the majority of it. Do I think that Fifilza should have scored 1? Yes. And I think the game would have been different if he did score that, right? FIFA's all about variables when it comes to competitive, but I do think that Tekksz's playstyle warrants a victory more, you know?
It's just sat back and just kind of waited and hoped there was going to be a mistake. So difficult to press, we know, in FIFA 20. So difficult to win that ball back.
Fifilza also can't have these players so wide against Tekkz because you have to work the small like angles because of Tekksz's aggressive defending, right?
But I'm fairly certain that name is going to be carved on, started to be carved on the trophy. Maybe at least an F, an A, an N. The fanatic has begun.
At this point, chat, I think Tekkz is the best FIFA player of all time, right? It used to be Bruce Granick, but Bruce Granick obviously retired. But at this point, I think it is, right?
3-goal advantage at this point in the game. You just wonder.
I don't know how many like victories he has. That's the thing.
What looks like an imminent victory here in Bucharest. Here's Garincha. Patrick Vieira is the man on the edge of the box. Van Dijk finds another Dutchman there in Ruud Gullit. There's Gullit again. You can see what he was trying.
5-star skillsman too.
Of space. 10 minutes to go here in our cross-console final.
It's almost time for that victory lap.
Nice.
I wonder whether we'll see the likes of Steven Gerrard for Tekkz. And you say, will there be anything special? This tournament has been everything.
Back across goal. Arnold's desperately trying to get there, and every single
That's a nice
sinew of my
pass.
body wanted him to volley that with Garincha.
Even if there
Garincha looks he looks like a good player this year.
It is a historic
His stats without even playing with him, he looks good.
For Tekkz.
Yeah, he's lost
I'm sure he will remember, many will remember, fans around the world of FIFA esports will remember. I'm sure down the line when it's FIFA 25, 26, we'll still be talking about those back-to-back first major victories.
Eusebio's gone for goal there. There will be a pause, and I'm just wondering if we're going to see what we're kind of expecting to see. Steven Gerrard in at
This kid's such a troll.
Get back.
So for quite some time, there's only been 4 names. The same list of names. Last will be Tekkz's 5th FUT Champions Cup trophy. Which is nothing but incredible.
Absolutely outstanding. And here is Steven Gerrard, twisting and turning. And you know what Tekkz wants to do. Wants to give us something to write home about. But stopping.
I think he scored with Gerrard one time.
Whistle go. Unstoppable.
There's 9-0.
Yeah, that was a good game, man. Like that is way better to watch than what FIFA competitive used to be like. Yeah. That's a GG, man. I have no complaints about that at all. That was a good game.